We've made it to the Football League, everybody. If you didn't watch the episodes over the weekend, I strongly recommend you go back and do that. They were awesome. And also, for a more detailed look at the transfers I'm about to show you, I did an almost 3-hour-long live stream yesterday morning. It's still saved as a video on demand here on the channel, so you can go back and watch the whole thing to see the full thought process in as much detail as you see fit. But I am going to recap them in a minute anyway. It's 3 hours long. Hello and welcome to part 56 of Backing the Boro. I'm Kev and we're in the Football League, finally. Coming up on today's episode, we are going to recap those transfers. There have been a lot again. Second summer in a row, we've done a lot of transfers. And then we're going to play our first game in the Football League against the team that came up with us, Tranmere. So, they were better than us last year. They'll probably be better than us this year. But I think we've had a pretty good summer. Not least because we've reduced the amount of overdraft that we've got. It's still not a brilliant financial position to be in, but we have sold more season tickets this year. We are well under our wage budget at the moment. I don't know what the projection's looking like. Okay, we won't look at the projection. What we will look at is the transfers. And as usual, we'll start with having a look at the players who've left and been released. So these are the four players who were deemed good enough to be snapped up by other clubs. I'm not so worried about the three that have gone to Shamrock Rovers. James Byrne, I think we might live to regret this one. He's one of the lads who came in on a free last summer. You'll see a lot of that again. £160 a week deal. He's released by a Premier League club. Didn't really get into our team. He went out on loan to Bromley. Kind of thought, we probably won't bother renewing. And then Bristol City came in for him, who are in the Premier League, and offered him a contract. So probably could have offered him one more year, as he's now ended up in the Premier League. But in addition to those guys leaving, we've also released Kaduba. Adebayo is finally gone. Reece Abrazezi's gone. Mitchell Glover. I ruined that boy. Frank Earl. Shady, one of the Patreon youth players, has left as well. A whole bunch of the players who came in for free last summer. It was part of the whole process of bringing in loads of 17, 18-year-old Premier League rejects. We knew we would be releasing a lot of them the following summer because we were rolling the dice. Same as we've rolled the dice this summer. We don't have money to play with on transfers. So just like we have this time around, we've rolled a dice on a lot of young players. And if 2 or 3 of them make it into our first team, then we win. And that's what happened last year with the likes of Sawyer and Williams and the guy in midfield, Taylor, and probably a few others that I'm forgetting. But big transfer news. Initially, Nyron Hurd has signed for us permanently. He was a key part of the team that got promoted last year, was released by Cardiff in the summer. He's had 2 years on loan with us now and is now a permanent Nuneaton player on a reasonable contract, £600 a week for 2 years. I think that's a cracking signing. We've also extended the loans for some of the other players who were in last year. James Ball, Robbie Nadat, Jamal Redhead, they've all had their loans extended, but they don't show up on this screen. And then it's just a case of lots and lots of youngsters from the Premier League. So I'm going to go through them very quickly. I'm just going to flash them up on screen so you can have a little look. If you want more detail on them, check out that live stream I was talking about before. So Barry Line is a 17-year-old striker. That's not great. He's come in from Tottenham. Joe Durbin is an 18-year-old centre-back, a little bit better on the potential ability. He came in from Manchester United. Sean Curtis, 18-year-old central midfielder, even better on the potential. Now we're getting somewhere. He came in from Everton. Chris Phillips is a striker, 4-star potential, who came in from Arsenal. Connor Coyd is a right-back. Of course he's a right-back. You can never have too many right-backs. 4.5-star potential. He came in from Leicester. Wayne Auger is a central midfielder with 4.5-star potential from Man City. Richard Smith, a left-back, 4-star potential from Everton. Kevin Taylor, right-back, 18. 5-star potential from Bournemouth. That's more like it. Cameron Eaton is a central midfielder with 4-star potential, again from Bournemouth. Freddie Bremner's a striker with 4-star potential. He's from Chelsea. Where did we get to? Andy Beach, central defender, 4.5-star potential from Leicester. Jerry Hendon. These are all on £160 or £200 a week contracts, by the way. He says I'm the one who's on £220 a week. But to be fair, this guy's actually got the potential to come straight into the team, which is why he's being paid a little bit more. 2.5-star current ability, 4.5-star potential, 18 years old, from Bournemouth. he's actually going to be quite good, I think, Jerry Hendon. He might be one of the ones who breaks through this year, as might Fernando Sampson, 18-year-old Argentinian central midfielder with 2 under-20 caps for Argentina, 2.5-star current ability, 3.5-star potential ability. He comes in from Man City, and again, I would expect him to make his way into the first team squad fairly soon. Mike Payne is another one who could make that breakthrough, 21 years old, so a little bit older, on a little bit more money, but he has that 2.5-star current ability, so in theory, same level as Can and Robbie Nadat, but has the 4.5-star potential as well, and has experience of actually playing football. And he was at MK Dons most recently, previously at West Ham, and lots of clubs on loan. Philip Burns is an 18-year-old centre-back, back to the £160 a week model, 4.5 stars, Liverpool. Who was he? That was Burns, wasn't it? So Josh Smith is another 18-year-old centre-back. Better current ability, not quite so good on the potential, but he's in from Chelsea. Jonah Hodgkinson is a central midfielder. Again, decent-ish current ability. Could be one who makes a breakthrough. 4.5-star potential. He's from Leicester. Aidan Chambers-Shaw, very similar to the last guy, but even better on his current ability and 5-star potential. This guy could be a proper superstar. He's come in from Arsenal. You thought we were done? No, we had to scroll. We're nearly there. Chris Naylor, centre-back, 4.5 stars from Man City. They're actually getting better on the current ability the further down this list we go. Craig Hudson is a left-back with 5-star potential. He's from Arsenal. Scott Sweeney is an 18-year-old central midfielder, 4-star current ability from Tottenham. Potential ability, not current. And then we did sign a proper player, Rowan Ince, 31 years old, 55 caps for Jamaica. He's a central midfielder with lots of experience. He'd be the best defensive midfielder at the club if we used him. He's as good as most of what else we've got in central midfield. He's the one that we've brought in for all this experience playing in the Championship and League One previously. We need a little bit of experience in amongst all these youngsters. And then we've got 2 loans as well who are filling gaps in the squad in attack and attacking midfield. They can both play up front or in attacking midfield. They've both got loads of potential and scored loads of goals last year, both on loan from Bristol City as well. So Dan Fisher is 21 with 3-star current ability, 5-star potential, and scored loads of goals for Gloucester in the National League over the last couple of years. And then Josh McDonald, same sort of thing, attacking midfielder and striker. 3-star current ability, 5-star potential. Also has scored loads of goals in the National League over the last few years. So there is goals, albeit at a lower level, to go with Livesey Mason, Sedwin Scott, the guys who are currently still at the club. So all of that being said, this is the team that we're putting out there for the first game of the new season. I don't know how long we're going to mess around continuing with control and flexible and all these instructions for. It worked in the league below, as we've seen certainly in non-league to legend with Oxford and Portsmouth and Leicester. This kind of stuff doesn't work when you're not as good as the teams you're playing. But I guess playing Tranmere today is going to be a good indication of where we sit. With all of the bits and pieces and whatnot. So this is the team. We've got Can in goal, a back four of Anderson, Laskowski, Sawyer and Williams, Ince, Taylor and Herder in midfield with Ball in behind McDonald and Fisher. There are knocks to some key players. Livesey Mason and Sir Tom Elliott both got knocks but should be back fairly soon. Sedwin Scott is on the bench. I'm not actually sure. I mean, in theory, he's the best that we've got, but I want to try out these 2 new players. So we'll give them a try first. And if they're rubbish, Scott's there on the bench. We'll be fine. Right, let's get into the match. And fingers crossed, because it's Tranmere and they've come up with us. Perhaps we've had a better summer than them. We've got quite a few new faces. I don't know if they have. I don't know who their good players were last year. But I'm hopeful. I mean, this was going to be the only way we could have a better opportunity for a first day win was if we were playing Tranmere at home. So I'm hopeful that we can at least get a result, start getting some points on the board. Talking to the board are expecting us to avoid a relegation battle, which I think is really ambitious. I think if we just stay in the league this year, that'll be a massive achievement. But they clearly think a little bit more of me and of the squad than I maybe think. Because last year we were only supposed to avoid relegation from the conference. We get promoted and now they want to avoid a relegation battle in League Two, which, considering it's not like they've invested loads, they've expanded the stadium slightly. But they've not given me any more money to spend. I've got the same size wage budget I had last year. So it seems a little bit odd. The media are predicting 13th. As we went through the summer with making the transfers, I think we started on about 19th, and watching the live stream back, as we brought in players, I think it's an indication that the transfer business we were doing was quite good, because as players were coming in, our prediction was increasing, and the media prediction is now for mid-table. And Josh McDonald is off the mark. It's his first goal for the club. I don't remember which one. Was he the one who scored loads of goals last year, or just quite a lot of goals last year? Either way, we've got the 2 Bristol City loanees up front. And I think with the whole Bristol City thing, we might end up getting the worst deal. Let's say Byrne goes on and becomes a championship quality player for him, the one who disappeared over the summer, and the one who got away. If we can get 30 or 40 goals out of Fisher and McDonald as a partnership, I think that's going to be enough to keep us in the league. And I think that'll be an exchange worth making, even if it perhaps isn't the best thing long term. This season is all about staying in the Football League, even though the board and the media would have you believe we should just be a comfortable mid-table side. I might believe it 10 games in if we're comfortably mid-table, but until I see it, I'm a little bit sceptical, because I know how hard it's been to get to this point, and the board seem to have forgotten. You lot obviously reminded me in the comments on Sunday quite a lot. 55 games to get into the Football League, just another 200 to get to the Premier League, and comments like, you monsters, you absolute monsters. I did promise you all along it would start to get a little bit easier once we got into the league, because obviously there's 4 promotion spots this year. We've been working in a world of 1 automatic spot and then a ridiculously convoluted playoff system to make progress so far, but now there's 3 automatic promotion spots and then normal playoffs behind it. I think getting out of League 2, it's probably the easiest league to get out of, because you just have to get a decent run of form together at some point in the season. You're probably going to be good enough to finish in that top 7. You'll probably stumble into the top 3 accidentally. You don't need to dominate a league the way you do down in the conference. And plus only 2 relegation spots as well. That's quite handy. Right, Anderson's not having the best of games, but I'm not going to bring Redhead on to play left back. That's just crazy talk. What I might do though is I want to get... Should we get Jerry Hendon on and have a look at him? And then just shuffle these 2 around. Who's going to be the best one to drop back into attacking midfield? Neither of them are great at it. There you go. We're going to do that. And then Hurd is not having the best of games. Let's get Fernando Sampson on. Squire Bill, by the way, is being tutored by Sir Tom Elliott, which is why he's become Squire Bill. We'll leave it there for now. I know we should probably be dropping down to counter and stuff like that, but we didn't do that in our promotion year last year. We were just control all the time. So let's see if it works in League 2 as well. And then for our final substitution, should we bring Squire Bill on? It does seem a little bit harsh that Squire Bill gets to make his Football League debut before Sir Tom Elliott. But, you know, Sir Tom picked up a knock. What can we do? Squire Bill is going to come on the left-hand side of that midfield. Young midfielder replacing experienced midfielder. Hopefully it doesn't all go wrong because of it. And we've dropped... I mean, there's lots of results today. Goodness me, we've dropped down the league loads. We're not even going to be in the top 10 with a first-day win. Everyone's winning or losing, obviously. There's not many draws, that's what I'm trying to say. But we do pick up that all-important first-day win. Stefan Broccoli's in their team. Veteran of Southend from last year or 2 years ago. When was Southend? But there we go. A first-day win. That is massive. And fingers crossed, we can build on that from here. And the next time you see me, we'll be challenging for the title, presumably. I mean, I guess that's how this is going to go. If you have enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for more daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.